Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We are here outside today for our weekly roundup. And Gwen is here meowing at me because she wants to go in the house. It's actually not super cold, but it is cold. And we are going to slowly move. You're going to notice I am moving very slowly. And the reason for that is all this ice. So last week, if you watched our weekly roundup last week, I talked about how it was really, really warm and wet. How everything was melting and getting gross. And that's not normal for us in February. It's not. It's been a very weird winter. Minus 41 day, above freezing the next. Not fun. Anyway, as a result of that warming up and then freezing, we have a nice thick layer of ice. Hey, Shadowfax. Just calling him to see if he'll come out of the barn. But this creates a problem on the farm. Normally, if your yard is full of ice, you just don't walk in your yard, right? No big deal. Because, you don't want to slip on the ice. What do you do when you have animals? Well, first of all, when you have a farm, it doesn't matter that it's icy. You got to go, okay? You've got to go out and look after your animals. Icy, not icy, doesn't matter. You have to go look after the animals. Now this sheet of ice that I'm walking on right now is about 2 inches thick. Hi, buddy. So it's not like freakishly cold out, but it is well below freezing. And that means it's slippery as heck. Okay? So, I'm just going to come over here where Shadowfax is. I'm using the fence to brace. It's so slippery out here. Like this is just sheer ice. Okay? So what do we do in here? Because you can't have hoofed animals running around on ice. They're going to fall and they're going to break their feet. They're going to break a leg. It's not going to be good. Why do you have goo on your face? You have goo. So what do you do when you have a pen and you have animals that have hooves walking around in it? And it is sheer ice. I'm not kidding about that. If we get up right close to here, this is sheer ice under this. It's kind of doing this pretty little snowfall right now. Hi, Gwen. It's doing this pretty little snowfall right now, but under that snow is this big sheet of ice, and this is over the entire yard. Okay, it's over the entire yard. It's over all the fields. It's over the roads, even though the roads have been salted now. So the roads are fine, but nobody's salting our entire property. So it is slick. Okay? It is completely slick. And he's not as dirty as he was, but he's still dirty. Anyway, we're going to make our way slowly back this way. And we are going slowly because, like I said, it's slick. So, how do you handle when your pastures and your pens are literally sheets of ice? Okay, there is actually a way to handle it. Hi, quails. Guys looking good? Quail are good. We're going to build the quail a big pen around that tree. That has nothing to do with ice, but that's what we're doing as soon as the ice melts. So now we have ice instead of snow. What do you do about it? You cannot just leave it and expect your animals to be okay, because they're not going to be okay. It is way, way too slick. You cannot expect Shadowfax to just walk around on this much ice. Like this is what I'm walking on is sheer ice. So you have to put something down to give them grip. Ideas for what you can use. Don't use straw. I know it's really tempting to use straw. Rabbits are fine, by the way. I know these rabbits didn't make it on film this week, but they're fine. So don't use straw. I know how tempting it is to use straw because it's cheap, but straw, it's not very good on ice, because if you try it out yourself, so take a chunk of straw, put it on the ground, and then step on it. Okay? You will slide. So the straw is good for sopping up water. It is not good for traction on ice. So what can you use? A lot of people use kitty litter. You can actually buy, if your feed store may have salt that is designed for your pens. It works. It's not my favorite. Hi, Gwen. Where'd DK go? DK's going that way. Let's go see if anyone else is in the shed. So you can use salt sold from your feed store because it should be pure salt. Because remember, your animals might ingest it. So what you don't want to do is have something that your animals can't ingest. But your feed store may have bags of salt that is designed to be consumed, and you can throw that in your pen. You can also get something, we call it stall dry here. It's actually for drying out your stalls, and it's got some grit to it. He's here. Anyone else in here or just DK? I think it's just DK. Just DK? Just DK. That's fine. Oh. There's Jake. I lied. Here's Jake. Hi, Bunny Babbitts. So we're going to slowly make our way back to the door. So we call it stall dry, and it's for drying out your stalls. It's usually for horses. You can put that down. That'll actually cost you quite a bit of money. So I'll tell you what I use. What did I throw out there so Shadowfax wouldn't slip? Chick grit. It works. It's just grit for chicks. It's literally called chick grit. And it comes from your local feed store. So I use chick grit. Some people use kitty litter. Some people use stall dry. Some people use salt. You've got to use something, because if Shadowfax was walking on this sheet of ice, he could break an ankle, break a leg, and a lot of horses simply can't come back from a broken leg. So we're not going to risk that. Like, this is horrific. And I didn't put anything down here because the animals don't run around here except for the dogs. And I don't want anyone getting hurt in the pasture. So we coated that in chick grit. Use something. Do not leave your animals walking around, your hoofed animals walking around on ice. Can your rabbits handle walking around on ice? Yeah, to some degree. How about your chickens? Sure, sorta. They can handle a little more ice. Horses, goats, sheep, pigs, cattle, they can't walk on ice. It's not going to work. So yeah, this week, world of ice. In fact, I can show you over here where we didn't put any salt or anything. This layer of ice, that layer of ice is what the pasture was. Okay? That's how bad the ice is here. So you have to use something. Your hoofed animals, including your cattle, can't just walk around on this ice. You will end up with downed animals, and you'll possibly have to put them down. So that is my advice for this week. This was the week of ice. You really, really need to make sure to control that ice in wonky weather like we've had. So if you've had warming up cold, you probably also have sheets of ice like this everywhere. You have to deal with them. Otherwise, your animals could get hurt, and it may even lead to fatalities. But that's about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. We'll see you tomorrow.